There's a language older than words. A language spoken not through sound, but through glances, gestures, and silences. Most men never learn to hear it. But psychology says, if you pay attention, you can feel it. Tonight, we decode that language. You're about to discover the 6 subtle signs a woman uses when she's secretly trying to seduce you. Not with words, but with psychology. These cues are ancient, wired into female behavior long before dating apps or text messages existed. And if you can read them, you'll see the difference between casual interest and quiet obsession. But before we begin, remember, these aren't tricks. These are patterns of desire buried deep in the subconscious. Let's decode them, one by one. Sign 1. The energy shift. Sometimes, attraction doesn't start with a look. It starts with a feeling. You walk into the room, and something in the air subtly changes. Her posture straightens. Her tone softens. Her energy becomes alert. Psychology calls this attentional bias, when the brain prioritizes someone who triggers emotional or sexual curiosity. In that moment, her subconscious mind is doing calculations. Why do I notice him more than others? Why does my body react before my thoughts catch up? She may start adjusting her appearance without realizing, fixing her hair, touching her neck, or aligning her body in your direction. It's her nervous system quietly saying, something about him matters. And here's the fascinating part. This happens even before she's fully aware she's attracted to you. Her physiology decides first. Her logic comes later. Pattern interrupt. Playful tone. Or unless, of course, she's just bracing herself for your terrible dad jokes. Then that's another kind of tension entirely. Bridge to next sign. But once her energy locks onto you, it rarely stays invisible for long, because soon, that silent pull begins to take physical form. Sign 2. The proximity game. Ever notice how she always seems to appear near you, even when there's no real reason for it? Psychology calls this spatial anchoring, the subconscious pull that draws us closer to someone we secretly desire. She might choose the seat beside you, linger in your presence after everyone else has left, or casually wander into your space under the disguise of coincidence. This isn't a calculated move, it's instinct. Her body is seeking emotional safety and sensory closeness, while her brain releases a blend of dopamine and oxytocin that deepens the bond. Distance tells the truth. If she keeps orbiting around your presence, her subconscious is quietly whispering, I want to belong in your gravity. Of course, if she's standing near you just because the coffee machine's there, don't mistake caffeine for connection. But once proximity turns into emotional synchronization, something far deeper begins to unfold. Sign 3. The synchrony effect. When a woman is subtly drawn to you, her body begins to move in quiet harmony with yours. Psychology calls this interpersonal synchrony, the unconscious tendency to mirror the gestures, posture, or rhythm of someone we are emotionally connected to. You lean back, and seconds later, she does too. You take a sip of your drink, she mirrors the motion. It's not mimicry, it's chemistry. Her nervous system is syncing with yours, signaling comfort, attraction, and emotional alignment. The deeper the synchrony, the stronger the subconscious bond becomes. Her body is saying, we are in tune. Most men overlook it, but psychologists know it's a powerful sign of rapport and desire. Unless, of course, she's copying you just to mock your terrible posture, then you're not in love, you're being roasted. But when physical rhythm evolves into emotional reflection, it reveals an even more profound level of connection. Sign 4. The emotional echo. Attraction isn't always seen, it's felt. One of the most revealing indicators is when she starts reflecting your emotions back to you. Psychology calls this emotional contagion, the subconscious synchronization of feelings between two people. If you're calm, she softens. If you're upbeat, her energy rises to match yours. She begins to tune into your mood before you've even said a word. This isn't performance, it's resonance. Her nervous system is mirroring yours, signaling trust and psychological closeness. It's a subconscious way of saying, I feel what you feel. When that happens, you're no longer just talking, you're emotionally blending. Of course, if she's matching your mood because you forgot her birthday, that's not empathy, it's self-defense. But when emotion starts to shape her tone, her laughter, and her pauses, that's when seduction begins to sound instead of look. Sign 5. The vocal invitation. When attraction enters the room, it often speaks before she does. Psychology calls this vocal modulation, the unconscious change in tone, pace, and pitch when someone feels emotionally connected or aroused. Her voice may soften, slow, or drop slightly, wrapping her words in warmth and rhythm. She might laugh more easily, stretch her vowels, or pause longer between phrases. It's her subconscious creating intimacy through sound. To the brain, tone is touch without contact. It bypasses logic and goes straight to emotion. When her voice feels calmer, richer, or more melodic around you, she isn't just speaking to you, she's speaking for you. It's a psychological bridge to closeness. Unless she's using that same silky voice to upsell you at a store, then it's not seduction, it's commission. But when that vocal warmth blends with all her other signals, a much larger truth begins to surface. Sign 6. The cluster of desire. Psychology warns us, no single sign can reveal true attraction. Real seduction hides in clusters, subtle patterns that appear together like pieces of an emotional puzzle. Maybe she drifts closer as she speaks, mirrors your gestures, lets her voice soften, and laughs just a little longer than usual. When these behaviors overlap, it's not coincidence, it's chemistry. Her mind and body are aligning toward you, revealing unconscious interest that words would never dare confess. The key is awareness. One sign might mean nothing, but when 3 or more converge, you're witnessing authentic desire in motion. Of course, if every woman around you seems to show these signs, relax, you're probably just standing under great lighting. But when these cues align naturally and consistently, that's when attraction stops being theory and becomes something undeniably real. But let's end with a truth that separates the wise from the foolish. The power of a man isn't in exploiting these signals. It's in understanding them, with respect, restraint, and confidence. Because the moment you see the world through the lens of psychology, attraction stops being a mystery and becomes a mirror. So pay attention, observe, learn, and remember, real power isn't in seduction. It's in awareness. If this awakens something in you, hit like to let the algorithm know you're one of the few men decoding the truth. Comment your thoughts below. I read every single one. And subscribe, because the next episode reveals the psychology of female obsession and how subtle curiosity turns into emotional addiction. Until then, stay aware, stay grounded, and keep reading the hidden language of desire.